everybody, SONGOSHUAKU'S here, and welcome to this review for WWE Survivor Series 2018. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button followed by hitting the notification bell so that way you are notified as soon as my content is released. Here we'll go ahead and break down the show as you go about your everyday life, whether you're driving, on your way, commuting to work, or just on your commute to school, or working out at the gym either. You'll have here some nice audio content to listen to as we break down Survivor Series. With that said in mind, please welcome back my guest. We call him the wrestling historian, the man 0001.
Hello friends, how do you do?
Well, it's great to have you back, man. 0001. We can go through Survivor Series, the second longest pay-per-view show. So let's kick things off with, arguably, what's the word I'm thinking of? Ironically, the kickoff. 10-on-10 tag team traditional Survivor Series tag team match. Where, let's see who we got here. The Revival, what are the new teams? What are the Lucha House Party, made of Kalisto and Lince Dorado. I probably said that wrong. The Revival, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the SmackDown team of the New Day, the Colognes, Sanity, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, and the Usos. Now, I did not watch this match, and from what I hear, though, it was pretty good. But the thing about this match is it was never counted on the scorecard. So it's like WWE's trying to say that this match didn't matter. And when you hear fans talk about the kickoffs not matter, can you get mad at them? What are you telling your audience by this? Now, man, 0001, you said you did see part or at least most of this match, so let you take the floor. Any quick thoughts you have? And yeah, let's not spend too long on this because obviously by WWE it didn't matter.
Yeah, this match right here got off to a quick start, and then it started, and then it started to drag in a little bit in the middle. Then it got really good, and then the end part is when it really picked up, and then 1, 2, 3, fuck the Revival, and SmackDown will presumably get its first victory of the night for sure.
Yes, we thought so. I heard there was a cool spot where Justin Gabriel, on one of the New Day members, did a German suplex on everybody, and I heard that was like the coolest spot of the match. Yeah, it's a sad shame to see the tag teams, but I kind of predicted SmackDown would be going over here because, I mean, shoot, did they have Braun Strowman bury the entire Raw division? I mean, all year long? Gosh, I don't think they've recovered since then. But yeah, anyways, let's move on to the main show. So here we go, and this will be the running theme as we go on. We'll talk about this, but let's start off with the first one. So it was the traditional Survivor Series match for the women. So representing Raw, we had here what was it? Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, Nia Jax, and Tamina. Now, Sasha Banks and Bayley, I understand they were added on the pre-show, and apparently, I understand Natalya and
Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott. Yeah, they couldn't fight. Yeah, they couldn't get along, and it's kind of like, see, when people, you can't blame fans when things like this happen. It's like, why did you went out of your way on Monday Night Raw to take Sasha and Bayley out of this match just literally minutes before the show to go ahead and put them right back in? It's like, why even bother in the first place? See, things like this makes fans feel like the creative doesn't know which way they're going. Or at least Vince McMahon maybe not, or doesn't know which way to go, and he's like, he's constantly got to tell them to go back and round. But anyway, they're taking on the SmackDown team of Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose, who was revealed to take Charlotte's place here. I thought it would be maybe Nikki Cross, but it's like Nikki Cross was just a one-off for the UK show. So the biggest things with the entrances here is, oh man, you want to talk about mega ultra heat how about the heat that came down on Nia Jax? The LA crowd detested this woman. Yikes! They hated her with a passion for what she did to Becky Lynch, and Nia Jax owned that.
Yeah, I almost saw some pitchforks and torches come out for that shit. It's like that right there is pitchfork and torches type heat, you know. But, you know what I mean?
Hey, it's like the booze for her cousin just translated over to her now. You know, I haven't heard booze as bad since Roman.
It was like Roman Reigns went over to her and was like this, "Tag, you're it."
Exactly.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
I gotta get the fuck out of here and get better. Fuck this shit. That shit's for the birds.
Oh. But, we didn't actually get a time to talk about the Roman Reigns situation since we only do the big pay-per-views. So let me just say right now, on behalf of both of us, our most sincere wishes, thoughts, prayers go out to Roman Reigns and his family. Can't honestly even imagine what his wife, his daughter, his family are going through. But I hope Roman Reigns stays strong and defeats this again, and hopefully for the final time, so that he never has to go through this ever again. And everybody out there has been affected some way, whether it's you've heard stories from others, or you've had a family member, or if you've gone through it yourself. It's definitely no joking matter. So Roman Reigns, definitely please get well soon. And getting back to the event in terms of Nia Jax, I'm glad that Nia's owning this. So let's go through this match here. I knew this match would have a lot of details to it, so this is one of the few matches I actually went ahead and took notes on. So let's go through it here. Naomi is eliminated by Tamina via superkick really early in the match. As a Naomi fan, sucks to see her go out this quick. Like, wow. Then we had Mandy Rose eliminated by Mickie James via tagging in herself from Sonya Deville after delivering a running knee to Mickie James. So basically, yeah, what is it, Sonya Deville? Yeah, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They're telling this story here, and we saw it develop even more on SmackDown as we were recording a little bit after SmackDown aired. So they're really pushing that breakup storyline between those two. And from here, we've got, let's see what we got here. Sasha Banks was eliminated by Mandy Rose via tap out to the bank statement. And then Sonya Deville and Bayley were eliminated via double count out. Bayley failed to get to the ring in time, basically, after delivering the Bayley to belly to Sonya. Here I believe the commentators mentioned, I put in my notes here, that commentators kept mentioning every time Asuka got in the ring, either with Mickie James or Sasha Banks, that this is a dream match, even though I'm pretty sure Asuka went...
Motherfucker, that shit already happened.
Exactly. These matches, Asuka went through the entire Raw division, so they're trying to act like this is a big confrontation. Like, we've seen all these matches. Like, I was like, okay, whatever.
We've seen this before. Come on now. Who do you think you're fooling?
Right. So I have here Asuka.
Shit, many of these matches we've seen them already this year.
Hey, let's finish up this match, though. Asuka eliminates Sasha Banks via submission by the Asuka lock after Nia Jax shoves Sasha Banks off the turnbuckle. So, obviously, really doing a lot of heel heat there. Nia Jax then makes short work of Asuka, and Nia Jax ends up being the sole survivor. So, my thing here... with Sasha with this. I don't know about you, man, 0001, but did Asuka wear herself out with the Asuka lock? I don't remember, but Asuka had Sasha in the Asuka lock. She taps out, and then Asuka's just on the ground, huffing and puffing out of it, exhausted, and Nia Jax just comes in for easy pickings. What? Did I miss something here? And also they kept Nia Jax out of this match quite a bit, and they had her do very little. Like, they didn't want her to do any more devastating moves, especially with punches. Even when all the women started brawling in there, you saw she just took Asuka's punches. Like, it's like they told her, don't go out there and do anything. And WWE's not hiding from this. You could tell there's heat on Nia Jax because they're calling her Nia the Facebreaker Jax. So yeah, that's all the details about this match. I thought the match was okay, I guess you could say. Okay, because I mean, it had its slower. It felt like a very methodical, as they like to say it, match. Definitely not fast paced as the men's match we'll talk about a little bit later. I think the last year's women's match was much better, more faster paced. So this one was okay for me. It was okay, but it did what it needed to do to get Nia Jax over. So I'll let you, before we move on to the next match, any thoughts you like to have you got to say about this match?
Come on now. Really, are we? Let's see. You know what I mean? You know, like a lot of this stuff, really, it's just, yeah. I mean, the match was good, but it was just like, come on now, really. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I watch this match and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these women in here look like relics and shells of them former selves. I mean, yeah, you know, yeah, the features that, you know, that make them noticeable are there, but it's just like, you know, really, they just look like relics of them former selves. I mean, Bayley, what the fuck has she done since last year, you know? Like, honestly, what has she done? I mean, I don't think she's had a pay-per-view victory. You know, I don't think she has had a pay-per-view victory. This is her first pay-per-view victory since
WrestleMania 31?
WrestleMania 33,
yeah. We were there live for that, too.
Yeah. And for Sasha Banks, this is her first pay-per-view victory since SummerSlam 2017.
That's why he's a historian, you know? Folks.
Yeah, I look at them, and then I look at someone like who else was in that match? Mickie James.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man. I mean, she still got it. She's still really good at what she does, but it's like, come on now. I mean, I know you're there to put people over, but I mean, at least show people why you are this legend. I mean, you know, don't go out there and get, you know, she doesn't need to be squashed every single fucking time she goes out there. It's not, you know, I mean, come on now. It's just like watching an old fighter with a cracked chin go out there and get knocked the fuck out every time. It's like watching Chuck Liddell in a later portion of his career get KTFO'd each and every time, you know, or get rocked and stumble over. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this right here is not something I want to see. But then, you know what I mean? That's just on the Raw side. On the SmackDown side, you got all of these, you know, you got Asuka that goes out there. She gets beat by Nia Jax for not, you know, first time Nia Jax has ever pinned Asuka. So, you know, that's that. And then you have, you know, and then on top of that, it's just like you have, you know, the Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose storyline unfolding. I mean, like, what's the point of this? You know, just break them up already. I mean,
that might have some potential. You know, they haven't really destroyed these women yet. I feel like Mandy Rose should get treated better than what she has, though.
Name 5 people who don't work for the WWE who give a fuck about this storyline.
Oh no, I'm just saying it has potential if they're going to do something with these ladies, because these two haven't had their chance to be established yet.
And well, let's see. Yeah, well, this right here doesn't. Well, let me tell you something. Quite frankly, myself and a whole lot of other people just don't give a fuck about that shit.
Look how they've been booked.
And I know, and that's, you know, and that's not their fault. I'm talking right there. It goes back to the creative and booking, and you know, the way the company presents them. It's just like tonight I watched SmackDown. I looked at what they were doing, and I switched back over and played WWE 2K. 19. So I was just
Wow.
like, yeah.
Where you can
So I was
actually
just like-
control the things and give better entertainment results.
So I'm just like, yes, finally. I feel a little bit better about this decision. So
Yeah, and look how easily they've reversed roles. Asuka made to look like a jabroni compared to Nia Jax. But you know what though? They've made Nia Jax so many times have to do the favors for Asuka. So I'm like, okay, I can give Nia this one. And before we wrap up things here and move on to the next match, how you like the way Nia Jax embrace the hate?
Embrace the hate like a champ. King would have been proud. So let's see. I'm pretty sure he's somewhere shedding a tear right now. You know, him and Big Show. That's our girl.
Right. It is
Heel
unfortunate.
turn, face turn.
It is unfortunate what happened with Becky Lynch, but I feel like we can talk more about that when we actually get to one of the big main event feature matches. So moving on here, we had nice, which was really good about this pay-per-view. We got a lot of first-time matches. So we had Intercontinental Champion Seth freaking Rollins versus United States Champion, the leader, I guess you could say president of the United States of Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Was it Nakamura? Oh, I
Get it
just
right.
said red. Nakamura. I'm just kidding. Anyways,
Get it right, son.
Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Drop down and give me 20 for getting it wrong. So.
The thing here, so we had the United States Champion, Intercontinental Championship. So my thing with this match was, on paper it sounds really good, but I'm like, I'm not sure. Nakamura's matches this year, particularly with AJ Styles, hasn't exactly, to me at least, lit the world on fire outside of their Money in the Bank match and their SmackDown TV matches. So I wasn't sure what we're going to get. But Seth Rollins, wants to go out there and steal the show. This match definitely kind of had a slow pace to it. It had its slow moments. And the thing is, with that, I was kind of like, the match is okay. The match is all right. And the thing about this is, it starts picking up towards the middle, and that's when it starts getting, I'd say a lot more good into the match. I could tell the fans were getting a lot more into the match. It got a lot more fast pace with the false finishes, and it really picked up towards the end. And I really love the ending sequences where you got Kinshasas and curve stumps, and they're both trying to get to each other, and at last Seth Rollins beats Nakamura to the punch and delivers the curve stomp and defeats him. And there we go. That was our match. I thought it was pretty decent of a match. Better than the first match. So I thought it was okay. It was okay for what it was. That's what I'll say. It was okay. And everything. It was definitely a lot more slower typically for a Seth Rollins match. Like usually if you look at the matches he's had with like Dolph Ziggler, man, these things were a lot more fast paced. This time I don't know if it looked like Seth had to slow down a little bit, but I thought the match was decent. It was decent. What about you, man? 001.
I want to see them face each other a little bit more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the Superstar Shakeup happening next spring, I think I definitely would like to see either one of them go to the other one's show, and I like to see them mix it up a little bit more. Because I don't think I've ever seen them face each other. I don't think Nakamura or Seth Rollins have face each other, even in their previous iterations, is Nakamura over in Japan and Seth Rollins as Tyler Black. I don't think I've ever seen that. So for me, I definitely want to see this. I definitely want to see them work together for sure. I want to see them work, against each other for sure again. In the future. So that shake-up next fall should definitely, not next fall, next spring should definitely give us a pleasant reminder of, things to come, and I really would like to see that, and also as a little side note, I think Survivor Series should be made into a much more important show, if you have a brand split, because it should let the audience know what's going on, and I think the matches that happen and everything else should decide, rather or not if, who gets the first picks in the Royal Rumble, who gets the first draft picks in the shake-up,
I agree. More needs to
Like
be
it
at stake
is.
other than bragging rights.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just like, man, yeah, whatever.
Hold on, man. Triple Zero One, are you
Yeah.
doing something while you're talking? Because I'm letting you know the audience can hear you.
No, I'm just
You hear something rattling back there. Audience is listening. Remember that.
No. That's I'm walking around right now, and that's the inside of my dryer. My dryer right now is smack. You can hear the buttons smacking up against the inside of my dryer.
During a podcast recording.
No, I'm walking around. It's a little bit different.
During recording, because people can hear this.
It's loud.
Letting you know this.
It's pretty loud. I'm trying to move around, get away from it. Just making sure I lock up my house so we don't have thieves coming here.
Well, let you know the audience doesn't want to hear all your business back there. But finish up making your point here.
But yeah, I definitely think that's something that should happen. I think that's definitely something that should happen for sure. In order to definitely make Survivor Series mean a lot more. But yeah, I definitely would like to see these two lock up again for sure. It's, what I mean, you have two of my favorite guys on the roster going at it, so why not? Why not?
Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and
along.
mute you out of here while you take care of your dryer business, and then I'll make sure to go ahead and call you back to break down the next match here. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea why he would not mute his phone while he's taking care of the dryer business that he was saying. Try to give you guys as much of a professional-sounding podcast-style video here. So, yeah, I apologize for the background noises that you guys are hearing coming from his end. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next match right now. The Tag Team Raw Championship and SmackDown Championship. So we had the AOP versus The Bar, where Big Show's had already made so many terms or whatever. And with that said in mind, this match was distracted by Enzo Amore. I didn't know what was going on, but he's apparently distracted by Enzo Amore, and basically it's like the crowd is distracted by that. I saw the video footage and everything, and it's like, wow, so what ends up happening here is that basically, the match, they're trying to get the crowd back into it. It's a pretty hard-hitting match, but I think the crowd was just taken out of it. And eventually, in the end, the Big Show, he gets Drake Maverick, and, well, at this point, Vince McMahon would have to be like, that's my boy, for those of you who remembers the Austin and McMahon segment where he picks him up and he says, McMahon 316 just says I pissed my pants. Great stuff. So from here, you have the distraction, and they end up pinning, I think, was it Sheamus or Cesaro? I forget who got pinned in the match, but yeah, that's what ends up happening with that. I thought it was a decent match. These guys, tried to kill themselves, and it was hard hitting. Was a match I was looking forward to seeing. And you got some comedy in the end. So once again, decent match for what it was. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give the man 0001 a call back. I told him if he ends up making a lot too much background noises, I'm gonna have to shut him off so that way you guys don't hear the audio from him. So let's get him and get his take on this match. All right. So if you guys hear computer noises in the background from the mouse keyboard currently picking up, let's see if we can get him back on. You guys hear it's ringing.
Yeah, man, what's up?
All right, man, 0001, are you back with us?
Yeah, you muted me while I told you it's done, and you muted me.
Hey man, I told you that if you make any noise just like you've done in previous audio reviews that we've done, I was gonna have to mute you so that way I could block out the noise coming from the background on your end. With that said, let's go ahead and continue on with the next match. We're on The Bar versus AOP. So give us your thoughts on this match.
AOP versus The Bar. Well, let's see. Well, one thing I can tell you is this for sure. Both of them are WWE tag team champs on their respective brands, and you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest champs in the room. How you doing? I had to get that one in. Yeah.
I mentioned Enzo. It was going to be good to hear your thoughts on this.
It was a pretty straightforward, basic tag match. It was, you know what I mean, until, Drake Maverick, he pulled off his best McMahon 316, his best William Regal in the bathroom with the Dudley Boys and Big Show, moment, and when he peed his pants,
Yeah.
Yep.
I said Vince McMahon's got to be like, that's my boy.
Yeah. Because Vince McMahon, he loves some toilet humor,
Hey man, let's talk. Do you think it was disrespectful of Enzo Amore to try and hijack the show, or do you think it was the right move to make?
I think Enzo Amore shouldn't have done that during the match. I mean, and I'm a very opinionated person, and I like to have fun at wrestling shows. I like to chant random shit, what I mean? I am one of those types of fans that do. However, you sit in your fucking seat. If you're going to stand up, do not obstruct people's view, especially if you're in the front row. Just because Enzo may be rich and has lots of money, these other people have spent a shit ton of time grinding and working, getting themselves through a lot of brutal, vicious work days in order to get there. And for some of them, this might be the only wrestling event they ever go to in their entire lives. And you just had to stand up on a chair like a buffoon and fuck it up for them. So, no. You know what I mean? If you're going to get up and chant random shit, then that's one thing. But if you're going to get up, stand on a chair, and try to take attention away from what's going on in the ring, and, that's a totally different thing, That's some bullshit, you know what I mean? Don't do that, Yeah, you beat your case, and I'm happy for him for that and everything else, but at the same time, Don't go there trying to cause problems, Don't go there doing that. That's not right, These guys
said.
are, Enzo, anybody, if anyone knows how hard these guys work, Enzo should definitely be a guy who knows how hard these guys work for sure. That's not right.
Well said. Yeah, I've heard several opinions. Whether some feel that it was great for him to stick it to WWE. Others feeling it was disrespectful towards the talent that works there. And the thing about it is, it's just why take it out on the the guy, they had nothing to do with Enzo's firing and all that stuff, they're not the ones that gave him, he's disrespectful to his former co-workers, in the ring trying to do their thing. And it looked like everybody was enjoying doing the catchphrases with him inside, but yeah, I think professionally there's a better way to conduct yourself, so I'm in agreement a lot with what you're saying, man. 0001. Moving on to the next match, Cruiserweight Championship, Mustafa Ali versus the champion Buddy Murphy. This match definitely wasn't as good as the one from Super Showdown. I felt like these guys may have been told to tone down. Like, it is progress. We're seeing the cruiserweights on the main roster, which is good, but it felt like they were toned down from what we were getting before, especially with what these guys can definitely probably do. Now, I don't watch 205 on a weekly basis, so there's probably been better matches than this, but for the cool high spots that we did get out of the cruiserweights, this was pretty okay. We did get some cool stuff. That's the biggest thing, and Murphy ends up picking the win up from Ali, and I'm going to assume they'll probably have a better match on 205 Live. So that's about most I can say about this match. What about you, man, Triple01? Do you watch 205 Live on a weekly basis, and what did you think about the match?
205. They still do that?
Well, there's our answer, folks. Well, then what did you think about the match?
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I watched the match, And I think the match was definitely really good. I enjoyed this match, and I enjoyed all of the little things they did in the match, but it's just like, I look at this match and I'm just like, Mustafa Ali just can't get the job done. I think that they're going to save his title win for the
WrestleMania weekend
kickoff.
Yeah,
for WrestleMania weekend kickoff show.
Oh, you got to go with the kickoff show. I say it deserves to be on the main roster, but right, we got to be realistic.
I know it does, but at the same time, it's going to win on the kickoff show at WrestleMania. Let's be practical here. That's just what's going to happen. That's that. So that's what I see for Mustafa Ali. That's a Buddy Murphy. I see a long, successful cruiserweight title run up to WrestleMania for him. And it's just like, yeah, it's like watching a little giant inside the cruiserweight division. That guy's jacked and he's huge, but he somehow makes 205. So
he has to cut the weight.
So it's kind of like that John Bones Jones effect, that Daniel Cormier effect, that Conor McGregor fighting at 145 pounds featherweight effect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys cut down, and and they make all of the other people around them look so tiny. So yeah, this match right here was really explosive, and I enjoyed what I saw. But I just wish the WWE would make it so I cared about watching 205 Live, because I'm a wrestling historian. I like to record these things and get them on the books, and it's just like, come on now.
Yeah,
come on now.
And I've heard that the show has been better since Triple H has taken over the creative side of it. But it just feels like, I think WWE, when Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn, I think we heard they were trying to make these guys, less flips and kicks and more all about the sports entertainment aspect, even though that's what the cruiserweights are. They're, we're supposed to see spot fest and all these amazing athletic feats. And they got rid of that, and I think a lot of people soured on them, right?
I mean, yeah, I've heard that before too. It's just like, if that's the case, come on now. It's like telling water to not be wet, fire to not be hot, and that's like saying, yeah.
Well, if you go back in time during WCW, very Hulk Hogan apparently touched water, and he said it's not hot, right? Something like that. Was that Dungeon?
Oh, fuck out of here. I'd rather not remember that bullshit.
I think a lot of wrestling fans try not to.
I do not want to. I thought I had that wiped away from my memory banks. Thanks. Thanks for reminding me about that shit again.
But hey, man, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it just, I think people sour on it and everything. And I think there can be great storytelling. If we look at that Cruiserweight Classic tournament a couple of years ago, there were some great stories in there, just simply doing it, keeping it simple. Doing video vignettes, having these people talk about what wrestling means to them, and having them go out there and have the commentators express how much this means to the wrestlers in the ring. Simple storytelling. But I guess, they don't see it that way. Let's move on to a match that surprisingly ended up being probably second match of the night for me, a match I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much, but I did. The 5-on-5 men's traditional Survivor Series tag team match. That being representing Team Raw, led by Captain Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor.
Wait. What's that name you just said?
Which one?
The name before the last name you said.
You just want me to rename everybody again? Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah. Fuck Dolph Ziggler.
We'll see how many people get that reference. Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Shout out to my man Leo Rush. Lashley. Which we did not
look like money, smell like money.
Hey, you know what's gonna really have heat on the a lot of people criticize probably the first thing that happened in this match. But you wanna know where I got heat? You wanna know where my heat is? My heat is with the creative decision to not put a microphone in Leo Rush's hand for this match.
Please, they should have done that. That would have been music to my ears.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. But anyways, you know what? We had Braun Strowman, and then taking on the team of SmackDown, Shane, the best in the world, McMahon, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, and Samoa Joe. All right, so this match here starts off with everybody, like I said, would be the creative decision that probably made everyone mad. SmackDown, which also leads into the most recent. Let's face it, Raw. This was not a good night for SmackDown, and this can be looked at. One of the reasons why. So this match immediately starts off with Samoa Joe is red hot. He's on fire. And then almost immediately after, he is eliminated by Drew McIntyre with a Claymore kick. And that crowd booed. I was looking at my TV screen and was like, what are they doing? But then I had to remind myself that, Samoa Joe is indeed injured. Hello, guys, Undertaker. What does it look like we're doing, right?
What are we doing? What do you think we're doing? We're insulting your intelligence. That's what we're doing.
Shout out reference to Undertaker and David Flair. You guys have been listening to reviews. You know me and the Man0001 are a huge fan of that 2002 segment.
Warms our heart.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So I know Samoa Joe is currently injured, so they couldn't really have him do too much in a match. And obviously, with taking out, I don't even know why they didn't just replace AJ Styles here with him. I don't know why. But anyways, here's the thing: is I just
that
realized
sounds too much like right.
Yeah, they actually could have done it. If you know Joe can't go for that long because he's injured, then why put him in a match? Why not just put AJ? Have him and Bryan switch places, whatever. But anyways, so, I agree with some people. Like, okay, Joe can't go in the match that long because he's nursing an injury. Fine. Did they really have to go ahead and have him go out like this? Couldn't you have Joe go outside the ring and maybe all of Team Raw beats him down so he gets jumped and just can't make the back to the 10 count? Instead, we have to have him. But at least Drew McIntyre looks strong. And then let's see, going through the match here, we had Finn Balor. He gets eliminated by Rey Mysterio, 619. Dolph Ziggler eliminates Shane McMahon. Dolph Ziggler is, I'm getting it all mixed up. Finn Balor is eliminated by Rey Mysterio doing the 619. Dolph Ziggler is eliminated by Shane McMahon doing coast to coast. So, man, Ziggler just can't get one up over Shane McMahon. Has it come to this? Wow. Jeff Hardy, he's eliminated then by, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, and The Miz are all eliminated by Braun Strowman via Power Slam. Braun Strowman comes in as a difference maker, and we even had Shane McMahon dishing out the coast to coast several times. Shane McMahon really busted his butt in this match. And what I liked about this match though is that the way SmackDown tried to survive against Raw, because obviously Raw had all the juggernauts, right? With Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. You got those three guys on there, and then Ziggler and Finn Balor, you know, can do all the high flying and technical stuff. So they were really trying to survive, and that's what I really love about the storytelling in this match is how well they tried to survive. And in the end, you just knew Shane McMahon got up and he knew he was screwed. And I think that's similar to what they did last year, except Braun Strowman got except what was it, like Triple H turned on Kurt Angle, but this year there was no mistaking. Braun Strowman hits the power slam on Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Braun Strowman are your sole survivors. And they made, I felt like they kind of corrected Braun Strowman this year than what they did last year in the Survivor Series match, and immediately he's knocked down by Baron Corbin, who I thought did a really great performance outside the ring, jumping up and down and really reacting to everything going on. So I thought he had a great performance there. And yeah, moving forward, we know Braun Strowman has a match coming up now at the Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar, which we can hope finally they'll go ahead and do this. I mean, how much more can you have this guy lose? Like, does it even feel like it's gonna be that special now, you know? Wow. So overall, what was your thoughts on this Survivor Series traditional tag team match? This thing was pretty fast paced from the get-go. I you know, outside the questionable booking decision of wanting to make SmackDown look weak all night, despite the fact it's a $1 billion+ show Fox is paying out money to, I thought it was a fun match though. It was definitely entertaining and much exciting to watch. Go ahead. We can't hear you.
My little conspiracy about this is that, you know, since, you know, this is Vince's way of sticking it to Fox for trying to have him, you know, for trying to have them talk about they wanted to have go on more of a sport direction. He was like, oh, okay, we're gonna show you what a sport direction looks like for real. Watch.
We've heard so many petty things on these reports about wrestling that, you know, I guess you can't put it past them.
Yeah, so wouldn't put it past them. So I'm just like, yeah. You know, so I'm just like, yeah, you know, it's coming, you know. It's like, yeah, that's what it's like. You know, but it's just like, you know, but I watched that. He's like, oh, okay, we're going to show you what a sporty style is. My thoughts on the match was this. It was a really, you know, it was a really decent match with Drew McIntyre coming out and looking really strong in this match. And then you have Braun Strowman coming out here also looking really strong in this match. And, you know, it's, you know, and then Dolph Ziggler getting eliminated by fucking Shane McMahon. Fucking finally. Motherfucking finally. Fuck Dolph Ziggler. That's Marmy some bitch. Let's see. But, yeah, he got what's coming to him, and that's just that. You know, he got his ass whooped. No, that right there was my favorite part of the match for sure. Dolph Ziggler getting his ass whooped for sure. And then let's see. And then on top of that we have, you know, The Miz as team captain, and I'm just like, he's picked all of these guys. You know, basically guys he probably wants to be friends with it, with the exception of Rey Mysterio. So it's just like, come on now.
Hey, he did a great job of playing cheerleader to Shane McMahon, by the way.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like, come on now.
And then they had him job out to the two guys that were the enhancement talent tonight. That was a great performance. That was Miz putting over those guys was hilarious, and Corey Graves' commentary going over the top on it. It was good stuff that we saw on SmackDown that would follow after. This is why the Miz is awesome. Yeah. He deserves those chants. Miz is awesome. Miz is awesome. He is
awesome. But but I get that. But it's just like watching this match was it was a pretty good match. And then you have Team Raw prevailing at the end. I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Yep, Shane's gonna get his ass whooped, and he's gonna get sent packing, and that's that. You know, so now so it's just like, yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, what did y'all think was gonna happen? You know. Let's see. Well, let's get moving along.
Right, you know, and at the end of the day, unless Fox is coming to knock at WWE's door and goes like, we're not appreciative of how you made SmackDown look on this pay-per-view. You either get things right, or we're not doing this deal before it even. We're gonna cut this deal off before it gets started. They're not looking at that, right? It's all about the stock market and the stock prices and whatever. But yeah, let's go on to what is my match of the night. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. This is originally supposed to be Ronda versus Becky, but due to Nia Jax breaking her face, this is what we were given, and she ends up picking Charlotte. A lot of fans would have wanted to see Asuka, it sounded like, against Ronda, but honestly, storyline-wise, why wouldn't Becky pick the woman who basically took her to the limit? So here we had Ronda versus Charlotte, the rumored WrestleMania 35 match coming early for us here. So yeah, and wow, this match was from start to finish fast-paced. These women did not, I don't think there was one methodical part of this match. These women went at it for whatever felt like 15 to 20 minutes straight, non-stop. This match was truly total non-stop action. The way it starts out with Ronda and, you know, not so much Charlotte going to blows with Ronda, but actually dodging, you know, her strikes and kicks and the nice chain wrestling, and not just chain wrestling, this was aggressive chain wrestling. Like, these women looked like they were out to hurt each other, and Ronda even gets elbowed in the lip and is bleeding, and it was a struggling fight all over, back and forth. Actually, particularly, a lot of this match was Charlotte. Ronda took a lot of abuse in this match, afterwards as well. But in this match, yeah, I mean, like I said, Ronda's a team player. You know, she had no problem in this match selling for Charlotte, and Ronda coming back with her aggressive comebacks, and then just one thing after another. These women were going counter for counter. It looked like a struggle. They presented Charlotte here, it's basically like, yes, Ronda's in for it now with one of the top best of the best here. This reminded me a lot of the Nia Jax match, but more brutal, because Nia really took it to Ronda, and Charlotte really took it here to Ronda, and just incredible back and forth action. Everything from Ronda wanting to go to the top rope, and missing the splash, the counters with the figure 4 leg locks, Charlotte lighting up Ronda's chest, and then Ronda just aggressively coming back with her judo throws all over Charlotte and showing her strength, getting up and constantly slamming, constantly trying to get the arm bar on, and Charlotte finding ways to counter the arm bar. Man, I can't say enough good things about this match. And then we get to the ending where Ronda looks like she's finally about to be able to finish off Charlotte. She goes running outside the ring, and she gets the kendo stick right to the gut, and man, Charlotte goes to work on Ronda. There was welts all over Ronda's body. She was bleeding everywhere from the arm, from the leg, from the mouth. Just beat the holy crap out of her, and it doesn't stop there. She breaks out the chair and starts welling the chair on Ronda. I'm getting flashbacks to Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Rock at WrestleMania 17. And then, you know, it doesn't stop there. The referees come out, and Charlotte starts assaulting the referees, and it doesn't stop there. If you guys know, they did the Bryan Pillman chair spot where Charlotte puts Ronda's neck in between the chair and stumps on it, and man, and the crowd is going crazy for this. So we had, I guess, what would essentially the babyface and heel dynamic between Charlotte and Becky is all messed up here, because they were booing the heck out of Charlotte, but they cheered her. And this is in Ronda's hometown, or at least her home, not too far from her hometown, and they were booing Ronda and cheering Charlotte. So I guess this is Charlotte's being brought into a more aggressive baby face. She's really taking in her inner Becky now. You know, she's learned a thing or two from Becky. So this is what we had. So I guess the way, then this is probably how they would have ended the match with Becky. This is way both women don't have to take a fall. They're strong. Ronda wins the match, stays undefeated, and obviously from the aftermath, we see that Ronda and Charlotte will definitely have unfinished business. I'm hearing rumors is they might have the match at the Royal Rumble and still proceed with Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania. So we're getting our first glimpses here of a possible Four Horsewomen MMA and Four Horsewomen wrestlers, basically the wrestling and the MMA Four Horsewomen colliding. But it's not too, but apparently I didn't know if they were going to have some of the Four Horsewomen come out from the MMA side and maybe have Sasha and Bailey come out. Didn't know what they were going to do there, but yeah, I can't say good enough about this. This is definitely Ronda's good. She has no business being this good, you know, so early in her career, and yet she is. It shows you that passion that she had, and she has a natural understanding and just a natural talented ability for this. And the fact that her and Ronda, I think I heard they worked this match out for like 3 days or something, and the fact they were able to come up with all this in like 75 hours and give us what they did and stole the show, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. So there, I don't know what else could be left to be said about this match. I'm looking forward to when these two women wrestle again, possibly, hopefully at the Royal Rumble. So with that in mind, man0001, what was your thoughts on this crazy match? Ronda and Charlotte, still in the show.
Yep, yeah, they took the show away for sure. It was right here. It's definitely a great match for sure, for certain. So I looked at this and I looked at this match. It was just like, wow, somebody's going grab for grab, hold for hold, move for move with Ronda. It was like watching Dragon Ball Z when you watch two people. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z when you watch two characters who are evenly matched go at it, and
right?
Power levels are going at it,
yeah, like that, right?
and then, but then you know, at the end, when one person knows they've been edged out just a little bit more, you know, it's kind of like watching, you know, Frieza throw his two blading disc, you know, at Goku at the end of the Saiyan at the end of the Namek saga, and try to decapitate him, but you know he left his beatings on him. So it's just like, wow, this right here was definitely a great match for sure. It was just like, you know both of them trying to break each other's will. Both of them are trying to go ahead and keep things going, you know, and I enjoyed this match thoroughly. It was a great match. So I did, and you know what I mean? I have to give this match, you know, an A-, but if I'm grading the match, you know, it was just, you know, man, I can't say enough good things about it. Yeah, but at the same time,
I probably would have been down on the match with the DQ, because at first when it happened, like, really, we're gonna go there, but the beat down and turning Charlotte into a more aggressive babyface is definitely was a big plus for me. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. What if they take it'd be nice if they take Sasha and Bailey the same route, and we just have 4 aggressive babyface horsewomen. Yeah. Well, let's.
Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead.
I mean, they don't have to be heel or face. They just have to, you know, they should just have each faction just be who they are and have the fans decide who they want to cheer for in this one or not.
It's going to be interesting, though. I think the fans will take the Four Horsewomen WWE over the Four Horsewomen MMA just because they've seen basically these 4 women help revolutionize women's wrestling. So I think the fans will probably side with them. But hey, thankfully, even though they booed the crap out of Ronda and Kala, you know, and well, it was all in what was it? It all happened in the LA at the Staples Center. Even though they booed her at Survivor Series, I remember when Ronda walks out on her own power. There's one fan that yelled to her, said, "You can't beat the man," referring to Becky Lynch, and she goes like, "You're not a man at all." And she looked like she had no idea how to really take that. You know, the fans booing at her. But then the next night she came out in that same arena and the fans cheered her. So looks like overnight they decided to go ahead and give Ronda the respect that she deserves. So very interesting. And there was even even a part when the fans were chanting, "This is awesome," and it looked like both women got emotional just to hear what they were putting on. Here's something, though, that I did have an issue with, and that's the aftermath. Now, on the show itself, you have Ronda walking out on her own 2 feet. Would have preferred if maybe they had the referees carry her out, or even put her on a stretcher with her coughing up, blood or whatever, to just sell the injury, or make it look like she was coughing up blood. I mean, to sell the injury, but I guess they wanted to preserve and show that Ronda's still so tough. And then the next night, she comes out smiling, and yeah, she got a better reaction, I thought. But the thing is, sell the injury. It would have been nice, if maybe they had Ronda limping out to the ring or something, or just didn't even have her show up, period. Because that was a brutal beatdown, and to not have Ronda sell the injury on TV that much, or even not having her do a no-show, or even just be downright angry and want revenge over Ronda, coming out just wanting that furious anger for Charlotte. It's like the beatdown is kind of diminished now, and it was a brutal beatdown. Like, it would be nice to know if they put a little bit more attention into detail in terms of selling these things. But let's move on now to the main event. The Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus the WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan, because I watched SmackDown. And so this match, now this match was really interesting. I'm not sure what I thought was my favorite part. Was it the German suplex to Daniel Bryan, or maybe it was the belly to belly to Drew? No, I think I really like when he did the German suplex, or no, I like when he did the belly to belly back to Daniel Bryan. Actually, no, there was so many awesome parts in this match. I think the part that I really like is when he did the F5 to Daniel Bryan, but then that kind of pales in comparison when he did the German suplex. Maybe, you know what, I like when he threw him out the ring and brought him back in and did another German suplex, or maybe it was the belly. The point is, this match was, as the fans were talking about it, they were yelling same old crap over and over and over. Exactly what I expected this to be, and I'm like, yeah, they're probably gonna do what they were trying to do back at what was it, in 2014 at SummerSlam and everything. Yeah, this was originally what was scheduled. So then eventually Daniel Bryan, I enjoyed Daniel Bryan. He was taunting Brock early on, and then this match was just it just dragged on, everything we've seen with Brock Lesnar. But the interesting part of this match was the second half. At least not most interesting. I'll say the match that was enjoyable. Not because I had hope for it, for a particular outcome. More so, it was just more aesthetically better to watch the match in terms of what we were seeing. So, Daniel Bryan kicks Brock Lesnar in the balls. So even after all these years, Brock Lesnar still didn't learn his lesson after The Undertaker.
The man, he just can't learn nothing. That's just what it is.
You think he would have learned after his fights with The Undertaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is Daniel, though, he comes in, he kicks Lesnar in the balls, and this is where I guess it was the hope spot that Daniel would come. He would become the Daniel Bryan of old. He hit the flying knee on Brock Lesnar, and then from there he would have all these kicks. He would be kicking Lesnar and stomping him, and Brock Lesnar, to his credit, he took the beating from Daniel Bryan. He was kicking Lesnar all over. Lesnar was selling. He would go for the F5, and Daniel would counter into the yes move, the yes lock, and Brock, the fans were crazy. They were cheering for Daniel Bryan like crazy, because this match started with the fans cheering Brock and booing Bryan. Then Brock does his shtick, and everybody's like, yeah, why do we like this guy anyways? Daniel, go ahead, kick his button. And so he gets him, and then once again, there's a part where Brock gets out of it, and he turns it into another submission, what was it, what's the move, like the go-go powder. What was that move called?
That was a triangle choke.
Triangle choke, yeah, triangle choke. So he gets the triangle choke on him, and then he puts the yes lock on him. It's like, are they gonna tap him out? He gets another flying knee on him. So they did a lot of hope spots for Daniel Bryan. But I'm just sitting there shaking my head. I'm like, it's exciting to watch, but at no point am I expecting here to get out of my chair and go like, oh my gosh, they did it. They actually did it, because I thought Daniel Bryan definitely could have used the victory more. I mean, what purpose does Brock going over at this point really serve? You want to kick Daniel Bryan's heel
because Baron Corbin used to be the permanent general manager.
Because I'm like, Daniel Bryan being turned heel, you might as well kick this heel turn off with something big. But of course, Brock Lesnar gets the F5, 1, 2, 3, and it's basically what I would say a more dragged out, longer version of what we got last year with AJ. It was more or less, because that's how it started off. AJ was going to Suplex City at first, but then afterwards AJ Styles ended up kicking. AJ Styles ends up making a comeback because it was probably a shorter match. It was definitely a longer match. It was about what I would expect, but definitely I would say this is the best match Brock's had since the AJ Styles match. Daniel Bryan made it fun, but this was probably the most predictable match on the entire show, and I guess the purpose of this match was just so Daniel Bryan could get it out of his system. He finally got his match with Brock Lesnar. Personally, I thought this would have been so much better had you had the dynamic of babyface Daniel Bryan, like if he would have did the flying knee out of nowhere on Brock Lesnar to create those hope spots instead of kicking him in the balls. But that's what they did, and I didn't even understand the purpose of the smile. We eventually learned on SmackDown that Daniel Bryan said, he wanted Brock to beat the old Daniel Bryan out of him, and this is, I do kind of like how they're saying, he's fighting for his dreams now, which is the WWE Championship, and turning he's not listening to the audience and stuff. So Daniel Bryan cut a tremendous heel promo on SmackDown, and we've always known Daniel Bryan can be a great heel, so looking forward to that. That being said, I've said everything about my piece of the match. Man0001, what's your thoughts on this match and Daniel Bryan moving forward as a heel?
Yes. My thoughts on this match was this. Was these people would just not understand. I don't expect these people to understand what this match is about. I don't expect these people to understand what's going on here. I just don't expect them to. Because these people are fickle. They're fickle. They're fickle. They just don't understand. My thoughts on this match was this. It was necessary. People need to understand that Daniel Bryan is more than just a catchphrase. See, he's going back to the Daniel Bryan I once knew. The Daniel Bryan that, that I've been telling people about for years. Before he even took on the name Daniel Bryan. When he was, when he was just
which you've always considered to be his slave name, right? You remember from the Bryan Danielson days?
Yes, indeed. I've always considered that to be a slave name, his Toby name.
Wow.
So now people get to really see it. They get to really see the true Daniel Bryan, the real Bryan Danielson here. And, Brock Lesnar, and seeing him go out there against a big-time guy like Brock Lesnar is surreal, It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, definitely a match we never thought we would ever see, especially for those 4 years, basically, that Daniel's problem started.
Yeah, so it's just like, me, I've always, another side note, I've always held out hope that Daniel Bryan would come back, That's why when they were selling those retirement, thank you, Daniel Bryan shirts and all this other shit, I didn't buy it. I literally didn't buy it. I figuratively didn't buy it. In my mind, he was good to go at all times. And, now that I saw him do that match against Brock Lesnar, it's just firmly cemented in my mind that Daniel Bryan is back. He's here to stay. And he is WWE champion again. You know. And this match right here was definitely a great match. Watching them go hold for hold. Watching Daniel Bryan go hold for hold. And it's just like, you know, Daniel Bryan was more competitive in this match than John Cena was in SummerSlam 2014. You know?
Mm-hmm.
He was certainly more competitive.
Oh, yeah, it reminded me a lot more of the AJ Styles match from last year.
No. AJ Styles match was, you know, two guys going at it and the better man winning. You know, this match right here was a man. This right here was a guy, Brock Lesnar, facing a man possessed. You know, like some people were like, it was just like the AJ Styles match. Nah, the AJ Styles match was two guys going at it. Better guy won. Handshakes in the back. You go this way, I go that way, and that's that.
It reminded me of that.
This right here.
I think maybe probably because Daniel Bryan took the first part was all Brock. This part, the second part was pretty much all Daniel in the end until Brock finally got that one F5 he needed.
Yeah, and plus didn't Daniel Bryan take like 3 F5s?
I think I remember 2. It was probably 2 or 3, either one.
He took 3 F5s. One of the F5s was into the referee that set up the turning point for the
No. He landed on his feet. Yeah, he landed on his feet because that's how he came back with the when he kicked him in the balls. Yeah.
Yeah. So he took 2.5 F5s. So it's just like, that's just like, man. And this match right here, he wrestled this match like a heel. Like a man possessed, like some guy who really was deranged, you know? You know, like a short deranged motherfucker. It was like watching, what's going to happen, you know, for real, when he faces another man named Daniel in the very near future. A little bit of a prelude I see here. You know,
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be so much Suplex City in the first part of that match.
but let's see,
fight, I should say.
So it's so it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be what's gonna happen when the next time he faces a man named Daniel. It's not gonna be pretty, but Brock Lesnar. Let's see, I'm speaking kayfabe to shoot wise. In his mind, he says, I cannot lose to a man named Daniel. It's not something that can go in my mind. I can't lose to a man named Daniel. Why would they have me lose to a man named Daniel? A short man named Daniel. Can't let it happen. Nope. But under no circumstance can it happen. But watching this match was really good. It was really smooth. It was a nice David. It was a nice evil David versus evil Goliath match. You know.
So let me ask you, man. It sounds like you were okay with the first half of the match being Brock Lesnar spamming the whole Suplex City stuff, which some of the people I've talked to, they that's what kind of killed the first part of their match for them. They didn't like the first part of it.
Yeah. Oh, I knew this match. I knew this match was gonna last, and I knew this match was definitely going to be a good match for certain. And, you know, watching that first half, I'm like, they're trolling us. They're trying to make us think that, you know, it's going to be like John Cena all over again. But I'm just like, nah. Daniel Bryan is definitely going to
make that comeback. He's
definitely going to deliver here. He's definitely going to deliver here. Brock Lesnar is going to deliver here. Both of these guys' chemistry was amazing, you know. It was just like watching Brock Lesnar's classic matches with Eddie Guerrero or Chris Benoit.
Wow, man, you enjoyed this match more than I thought.
You know, that's what it felt like. It felt like a love letter to his old days on the SmackDown when he faced Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, guys like that. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's what it felt like, you know.
Back in those days, though, I think we enjoyed Brock Lesnar's move list was a lot higher back then.
It was, but this right here, I'm talking more specifically the storytelling of it.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, you have this guy right here who's a technician who's a machine, and you have him out there, and and you have him wrestling these guys. So it's kind of like, it's kind of cool knowing that Brock Lesnar did go out there and he has wrestled these guys. And it also kind of reminded me of Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk a little bit as well. So, what I mean? It's kind of cool, being Brock Lesnar, and knowing that he's had a very unique list of opponents. So it's like, you have him out there and he's wrestled Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. So it's like, wow, that's, and he's wrestled Kurt Angle, The Rock, Triple H. This guy's wrestled,
We never got that
really
Stone Cold Steve Austin match, which is something I say I would have wanted to see, but I'm like, back in 2002 with the plan, I don't think I would have wanted to see that. But if they could have done that back in, but if they could have done it back in like 03 when Austin came back, or even if they would have went ahead back when at 32 and everything, then if it would have been presented as Steve Austin legend against Brock Lesnar and them treating Austin like the legend is, very similar to what they did with The Rock back in 02. There we go. And when I hear that they're possibly thinking about having The Rock and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35 for that title, so they might keep that title, that Universal title, on Brock for a while. Wow. But hey, man, any final thoughts you got on the rest of this match?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed this match, and and it's just really just like it's like it was some good storytelling, and I can't wait to see this the fallout of the show and have it happen, because I can't wait. And big ups to all the talent on the show. For the most part they delivered. Some parts they could have done better, so it's just like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall I thought Survivor Series overall in the show was it was, I can't say it was horrible, and I can't say it was the greatest. I don't know, it's a little above the middle for me. I thought I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable, that's what I'll say. It was an enjoyable show, because I definitely think we've had worser shows that leave us like, what the heck, I thought it was enjoyable. Like I said, I think the last 2.5 matches were pretty good, like the first part, like I said, it was a lot of the same old that we've seen from Brock Lesnar, but can't get really too upset of it because it's what we would expect. But definitely Daniel Bryan's comebacks was awesome, I thought. There's something I think I wanted to say too that I really enjoy. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most, if the word is still phrased from Michael Cole, electric Daniel Bryan matches we've had since he's returned to the ring. Just it kind of brought me back to like some of the heat you would get from the crowd audience, that I felt we haven't had in some of these Daniel Bryan matches, because and to your point, that might have been WWE's brilliant strategy here. They always say, Vince McMahon's a genius. Booking Brock Lesnar the way they did really helped get the crowd into that match a lot more towards the end when Daniel Bryan made his comeback. So that was very well played. But with that said in mind, guys, that concludes our thoughts on the Survivor Series 2018 pay-per-view. We will be back with a review for TLC. Definitely looking forward to that, with the Dean Ambrose heel turn and Seth Rollins, seeing what they've got and everything. So with that said in mind, we'll go ahead and end with the plugs. Man0001 usually doesn't have them. So is there anything you would like to say in conclusion?
Be well and be kind to people. It's a nice legacy to lead, and always remember, wrestling is subjective art. It's not, it's nothing, it's nothing that everyone's right or wrong about, unless it's the facts. How you enjoy wrestling is subjective art. So please understand and be kind to one another. Okay.
Well said. And with that said in mind, guys, here are my plugs. So, if you obviously are a fan of WWE or professional wrestling, we'll be doing more audio reviews like this for big events that you can listen to as you go about your everyday life. Also, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, shonen manga, or anime adapted from shonen manga, make sure to check out my upcoming short film, Battle of Deception, as it's based on those types of genres. I currently have lots of videos such as the teaser trailer and the behind-the-scene interview videos right here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I release more content regarding Battle of Deception, Dragon Ball, and even WWE. And make sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at SONGOSHUAKU. All links will be in the description below. Take care!